What is Blue Credit, people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bubbling, and in today's video we're talking about NBA Youngboy, and that I'm actually pretty worried from our guy. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and claim I'm like the biggest fan of NBA Youngboy. I don't really listen to Boy, but I do hate all of this like NBA Youngboy slander, although I do hate like the NBA Youngboy fan base's toxicity, so I think that's why they get hella hate. It's kind of like they give too much and then they get it back and then they start getting pissed off. But anyway, we're here to talk about how he got arrested on a federal warrant, and it's not looking good because I think he might be locked up for a while. But just in case y'all don't have the background, DJ Academics gave a pretty good summary on his YouTube, but also his Twitter. So let's just read this tweet so we don't have to watch his whole 5-minute thing. But basically, police claim the NBA Youngboy took them on a high-speed chase, then fled on foot. This happened in LA, I believe. They say they had to use K9 units to track him down. Information about his charges will follow soon. Now, we still don't know what the charges are. All we know is from the feds, not like a state or like LA warrant, which I originally thought it was. So it's actually pretty serious, and usually the federal government doesn't get involved unless they have a pretty strong case and it's like worth their while. They're not gonna sit there and try and get you for like 10 speeding tickets. It's for like some RICO shit, which a lot of people are suspecting the NBA Youngboy is getting charged with. I'm also hearing from a lot of people in the replies, because I was asking on Twitter. I didn't know any information. Nobody really knows, even Academics, even though Academics is like a good friend of NBA Youngboy. I mean, Youngboy is probably locked up right now and can't really speak to Academics. Probably can't say much about the case either, given that he's under investigation currently. But either way, again, there are suspicions that is a RICO charge. If you don't know what a RICO charge is, you're in luck, because I don't either. But I've got Google. Not to mention the fact that this was a similar charge to 6ix9ine in that he was involved in a gang, and then since they couldn't really take down one by one people within the gang with evidence pointing towards specific people, they just know that a specific group of people, such as the Bloods in 6ix9ine's case, did a few wrong things, actually countless wrong things. And then since 6ix9ine was in the public and was obviously an easy target and always videotaped himself, that's why they targeted him to take down the rest. So they might be doing the same thing with NBA Youngboy with his whole crew. But anyway, the definition of a RICO charge is the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. It spells out RICO. Is a federal law designed to combat organized crime in the United States. It allows prosecution and civil penalties for racketeering activity performed as a part of an ongoing criminal enterprise. So what they're saying is they're trying to take down NBA Youngboy's whole camp, or whoever he's involved with, whatever criminal organizations. And in the past, his camp has been involved with some murders. Obviously, guns are always in the music videos, drugs, etc. And throughout the past couple of years, actually throughout his whole career, but more specifically the past couple of years, he's been arrested and kind of let free, making people in the public think that, you know, they were dropped or they got the wrong guy or something, or maybe one of his homies took the fall. But what it's looking like now is that these cases weren't necessarily dropped. They were essentially collected, in the sense that they weren't going to actually go through with the charge because they knew it was a part of a bigger case that they could use to strengthen the indictment against his whole camp, if that makes any sense. So for example, they could have taken down NBA Youngboy for, you know, say a couple years, 2 or 3 times with these smaller arrests. However, what they did instead is collect a bunch of them, maybe from NBA Youngboy 3, and then 3 each from all of his other homies who were also involved in the criminal activity, allegedly, of course. And then they can build this whole case where everybody like goes out for life and they can get money, like, do whatever the feds do. Fuck everybody up the ass. It's Bob from the future. We actually, thankfully, got some more information about the NBA Youngboy case. Now, we know for a fact that it's not a RICO charge from the lawyer, incidentally from the same guy who was updating us on the 6ix9ine case when he was snitching on the 9 Trey Bloods and whatnot. But he gave us more information that NBA Youngboy is facing 5 to 10 years, which isn't as bad as I originally thought, but I'm still worried about NBA Youngboy, for I feel like even if he lawyers up, still might face at least a few of these years, and a few years is a long time, let's be real, especially with how fast technology is moving. You're out for like 2-3 years and you're on like iPhone 15 and kids are playing with virtual reality. Every single second there's a person being born as just a brain and not even having a sarcophagus or whatever it's called. But But yeah, here's what that lawyer said more specifically, because I do not know what I'm talking about.
Got the update on Youngboy. He's facing a federal charge for felon in possession of a firearm, carries with it a sentence of between 5 and 10 years. He didn't get hit with the RICO charge. This, however, is a very serious charge. He has priors also. When they tried to arrest him, he ran and they found a gun in the car he ran from. Very serious.
All right, so what it's looking like from this lawyer's new information is that it's just a felony possession of a firearm charge, just holding a gun. However, what he also mentioned is that it's probably not looking good in his side of the case, given that he ran from the cops. They had like the whole high-speed chase, then he fled once they cornered him, and then the K9 units had to be utilized to go find him and finally arrest him, where he was essentially obstructing the arrest, meaning stopping it from happening, or trying to at least. And probably the reason that he did this was because he knew he had prior cases with felony gun charges or just being arrested in general, as the lawyer also mentioned. So he was trying to go on the run, but like no matter what, he was screwed, because even if they didn't find him, he would have warrants out for his arrest with like the federal government. So he just had to like leave the country, and where is he gonna go? Especially because he works here with his label. But given all that information, NBA Youngboy doesn't really have any sort of case to beg for more freedom or less years from the federal government, since they already let him off on like probation that he just got off of, I believe, and longer sentences in the past. Now, is NBA Youngboy completely fucked? I'd say there's a higher percent chance that he's fucked, but his label probably won't go out with a fight, because obviously he's making them music every day. He drops projects after projects, like 5 or 6 in 2020. I think that's an actual accurate number, but they're making him boatloads of money. So obviously they don't want their like cash cow to go to jail and not be able to make music or release that music for years and years to come, especially if this is a RICO charge and he goes away for a long time. So they're gonna help him out once again, because if you don't already know, NBA Youngboy back in the day before he signed his major label deal, they helped him get out of jail for a significant amount of time, or even life. I don't know the details of that, but that's actually why he's locked into his deal still, and talks about it in a lot of his songs. He was actually trying to get out of it last year or the year before and give them all of the masters or rights to his old music so that he can just be free from the contract, essentially buy himself out, but they wouldn't let him. But the reason for that is because they were able to give him a pretty poor deal, or at least one that locks him in for a long time for many projects, because they were giving him the opportunity to stay out of jail by giving him the lawyers and resources to do so. And if he didn't sign the deal, he was essentially going to jail for a long time or life. So you can't really blame NBA Youngboy in that case. So I guess at this point, considering it was already kind of supposed to happen, and let's be real, in his raps, NBA Youngboy says like he kind of does all this shit, or at least he's around it. So I think it's just catching up to him. And personally, in my opinion, I think NBA Youngboy about to go to jail for a while, no matter how much money they throw. I really hope he doesn't, because he got a lot of fans that he supports and talks to their soul and everything. So maybe he can pull out like a little 6ix9ine snitch action, because he does have to pay the bills for all of his homies and family who depend on him to be the breadwinner of the community. So then the question you got to bargain is it okay or moral at that point, if you're paying for so many people, supporting their every single day lives, to snitch and go against the street code so that you can continue to provide? Because if you go down, NBA Youngboy that is, and then some of his homies don't necessarily get taken down with the case, they can't really provide the same amount of money. So will they take the fall for him, and maybe NBA Youngboy doesn't even have to snitch, they just like take it all? That could be an opportunity in my opinion, but we really have no idea what the feds are trying to do. I feel like they're trying to take down everyone, just like in most cases, especially if NBA Youngboy is providing all the money for this criminal organization to carry out all of its activities. And that's essentially what they got 6ix9ine for. But in conclusion, free Youngboy. Never like to see a rapper go out like that. You never like to see anybody, especially when they're providing for so many people. I think deep down, even though Youngboy may have done bad things, everybody's done bad things, let's be real, but I feel like humans down inside are never actually bad morally. It's either the way they were raised or what they actually needed to do or thought they needed to do to provide for their family and their well-being to survive. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what y'all think. Should NBA Youngboy be freed? Do you think think he's gonna get out? You think he's gonna beat the case? You think he's gonna go away for a while? I'm genuinely curious because everyone's left in the dark currently. Make sure to like and subscribe and join the Bob gang if you with it. Peace out, cutty people. Know what I'm saying?